your dreams trying to tell you something? Author M.B. Mosley teaches you how to decode your dreams and take hold of the manifestations that lay in wait for you in the waking realm. Now, broadcasting all over the world, it's the Dream Interpretation Podcast.
All right. Are you ready, baby? Are you ready? Is this microphone on? Are you ready? I'm so excited to be here with you, family, my beloved. Let's get into the spiritual sweet spot. Yes, let's jump in here so we can get a cleansing. Let's wash our souls. Oh, I'm so excited. Feel that energy. Feel that water energy. Feel that cleansing water energy. Let's dive deep. Let our souls dive deep into this cleansing. I am so ready. Let's shake the shoulders off. Shake the shoulders. Come on. Loosen them up. Let's take in a deep breath. Deep breath with me now. Deep breath with me. Wait a minute. Is this microphone on? Let's take in a deep breath with me. 1, 2, 3. Take it in. Inhale. Exhale. Feel that coming from your gut. Feel that coming from your internal higher self. I'm so excited. Now, do me a favor. Roll down that window or pull that window open. We need to flicker some of this energy off. I know I need to get out of here. Get some of that energy out. Get some of that energy you do not want on you out. Flick it out. Flick it out that window. Yes, baby. Flick it out. Yep. Close that window. Close that window. All right. We are focusing on new energy. New energy. That is our mantra today. New energy, baby. I am so excited to be here with you all. Global audience, thank you so much. This is a spiritual sweet spot, and we're getting ready to get in here into that center. I would say the epicenter of the soul. I know I have my Florida water. Let's spray some Florida water in the atmosphere. Do you know they also make sage spray? Let's get that spray too if you got sage spray. I still use the old white sage, smoke it out, but I'm going to do some Florida water in here. Spray. Let's get some spray. Infuse. Let's get that aroma going, baby. I got to feel my soul. I got to just feel that energy. Let's come on, feel some of this energy right here. All right, let's get ready. Are you ready? Let's get into today's message. I'm so excited that you are all here with me today, and I'm getting ready. Hey, right station, right podcast, global audience. Hello, hola. How are you all doing from all four corners of the world? Hello. How is your mind doing? How is your heart doing? How is your soul? Most importantly, how is thy soul? All right, so Spirit is on a roll lately, and I appreciate it, because I'm learning. I need all this food to nourish my soul on this journey to true self. Now, Spirit was given a word of switching it up. I say, here we go again, Spirit. What are we switching? What are we switching up? You know how I am. Listen, you guys got the most, I'm like the most blah. I already know. I've always often wondered. I laugh. I say, I don't know. I don't know if I would, if I could, I don't know. Never say never. I mean, the acting part, because I'm so monotone. My celebration for you would be the same phase as probably me receiving news. And I'm working on that. Okay. No judging. All right, guys. So let's talk about it. Switching it up. I say, Spirit, I need more. You cannot just say switch it up and then just have at it. And Spirit said, Spirit reminded me. You guys, story time. So, most of you have heard me talk about my addiction to alcohol. So even during that time with my addiction to alcohol, I'm a recovered alcoholic. 2011 is when I quit I never keep the years. That's why I was trying to think. I was like, wait, what's the years from 2011 to now? But I just keep the year that I quit, which is in the month, August 2011. And so it had been a long battle. It had been a long battle, you all. And so, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. And I do have in my former podcast, I definitely go into mention of all of that with the addiction itself. So His Spirit bringing into remembrance throughout that time, that was one of the most challenging moments of my life. And not only was it an addiction to alcohol, y'all, tobacco was involved. I was that one. I smoked and I drank. When I drank, I smoked tobacco. And so at that time, when, like I said, it was the most challenging. It was a journey. It was real challenging. And during the time that I used alcohol, of course, I used tobacco, cigarettes. And so the relationships I found myself in, for the lack of better words, were not healthy relationships. And always remember this, right? This may resonate with somebody, but it's definitely resonating with my soul. I say, Spirit, you're onto it again. And so remember that like energy attracts like energy, right? And before we go there, let's disclaim. Queen of Disclaimer hasn't done a disclaimer in a long time. I'm not necessarily saying that there's anything wrong with drinking alcohol. Listen, it wasn't my best suit, right? It didn't work out for me. There's nothing wrong with smoking tobacco. Didn't work out for me, right? Let's just put that disclaimer out there. But I need to tell you all my story as it pertains to my addiction. And for those that don't know, I come from a family of addicts, and so there's a predisposed gene on both sides, mom and dad, and trickled down. And come to find out, my grandfather, my mom's father, died of liver cirrhosis. So hello, double whammy. And so anyways, so during that time, what's real crazy was, you can't tell an addict nothing, honey. Okay. I just, of course, because one, you're an addict, you're in denial, you're not seeing it. And so no matter how I tried to develop relationships, I always attracted people that like to drink too much and smoke cigarettes as much as I did. End up in freaking arguments or just, things after people have been drinking, abusing alcohol, I should say, because they're social drinkers out there, right? And so relationship after relationship, nothing ever successful there. And in my hearts of hearts, in my efforts, sorry if I'm cutting it short for those that are new here, I appreciate you. It's only that I've mentioned that journey. So in my heart of heart endeavors, trying to overcome this thing, this addiction, it was taking a toll on me. And emotionally, mentally, physically. And so when the day finally came, right, I spent the next, probably, I want to say it felt like 2 years, about 2 years, spent the next 2 years just focusing on myself furthermore, and just really focusing on my writing. And the more I did that, and then at this time now, I'd come to this place of just kind of coming into my own a little bit. Those are the baby steps there, coming into my own and trying to just develop a regimen out of the habits that I had. Y'all know habits are sometimes hard to really kill, right? And so literally. And so I want to say it was about 2 years. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, it was 2 years. 12 to 13. Yep. 2 years. So going on about my business, enjoying myself, rediscovering myself. Who am I? Who is this girl? Look at her in the mirror, honey. Who are you? And so going on about my daily, whatever. I meet my husband, right? At that time, I met a guy. At that time, I met a dude, right? And I'm like, what does this dude want? No, I'm just kidding. I met a dude, and so we started talking. We became fast friends, and conversations were great. But wait, he's different. He's really, really different. Okay, wow. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. Okay, all right. That's very different. And, and then I'd have my whole thing about what, things I was looking for, y'all single people out here, whatever you want to call it. I didn't have a list per se. I didn't have a scroll. No, ma'am. I had standards, right? like you should if you value yourself. And and it shouldn't be your standards should look sidebar. Your standards should not be what you're not, if that makes sense. I need to publish that one manuscript I wrote back in the day, y'all, about dating, because don't have a manuscript over here about wanting to date a freaking multimillionaire and you ain't even got a job. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to knock your dream and your hustle, but come on, put in a little work, establish a nonprofit organization or something. I'm just keeping it real with you. Come on now. I'm not saying you cannot attain that goal, but you just got to think along those lines of a multimillionaire. Like, they're going to look at you like, you're going to be sitting up here spending my money. What are you coming to the table with? So just get your nonprofit organization, something you like to do. Perhaps, if working is not something you don't want to do, no worries. Listen, we then went to a whole nother conversation. But I'm just saying, keep your standard lists to what you would like to date and who you are, if that makes sense, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with manifesting somebody with manifesting somebody that's 5 times or 10 times. I don't know what you want to say. I don't necessarily want to say out of the league, because that's kind of weird, but it's just, okay, we're talking about a whole different thing now. We're talking about dating, but just, you understand what I'm saying with the standards list, right? Just be sure that what you're looking for is what you are. It usually works out better that way. So if you're a multimillionaire, you're probably looking for a multimillionaire, but it's okay if you're a multimillionaire and you just want somebody that will probably be a good listener, a good business partner, or somebody that comes in with certain, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Listen, we're not talking about dating here today. But anyway, so here he is. This guy shows up, right? Boom, boom, boom. He shows up. And make sure your standards list is not full of superficial stuff too, right? Let's do stuff that sustains. Anyways, I sidebar. So, boom, boom, boom. We hanging out. We're having a good time. 2 years later, he proposes. 3 years later, we get married. Boom, boom, boom. No, I'm just kidding. And then boom, we're married, right? And then I'm realizing, oh my gosh, I always tell my husband this. We've been married for 5 years now, but we've been together for 8. Thank you. And so I told I keep telling him, he knows my humor. I'm like, babe, you're the best husband I've ever had in this lifetime. If you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. And he's, at first I used to say you're the best husband I've ever had. He's like, what other husbands you ever had? I'm like, silly. I don't know. In my other lifetimes, I can't remember. But anywho's is, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay, back to the story at hand. So, what's all this whole entire story about this, right? I did something different. I overcame something that was so hard for me to overcome that I honestly, I was scared. I didn't know if I was going to do it. Some of y'all that have listened to that podcast when I talk about it, that I used to cry, drink, and hold a cigarette. It was Capri Lights, the little skinny, itty bitty, feminine. I don't know if they're feminine, but to me they were. But they were cute. That's why I mainly also smoked them. They were like real slender. Slender. But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, at the time, I didn't see past the addiction, even though when you go back to my podcast, I make mention that I was manifesting before I knew what manifesting was a thing. Even though I was drowning myself in alcohol and smoking cigarettes, in my mind I was crying, wanting to stop, thinking about walking in a park, just doing normal stuff, thinking about just doing normal stuff. So I didn't even know that was considered manifesting at that time. But still internally as a person, when you're in the moment, like for me, I was still scared. I was still human because I'm like, what's the end game? I need to quit. But it feels like it was a tug and pull. But overcoming that part of my life produced the biggest and the best gift of my life. Period, Pooh. Period. I mean, listen. Right? Topic at hand is switch it up. They're like, oh, we gotta go stop drinking and smoking. We might find our husbands and wives. No. And then listen, that's not the message. That's not the entire moral of the story. But and then my husband laughs because he's like, yeah, if you were drinking and smoking, we wouldn't be together. Period, Pooh. I said, okay. He's got a point. So switch it up. Spirit said, remember that. That was the biggest hurdle of my life that produced the biggest gift of my life. The best husband I've ever had in this lifetime. I don't remember the other lifetimes. If you know, you know. And so, so guys, switching it up doesn't always have to be superficial, right? Perhaps it's that thing. Listen, in order to do different, we gotta be different, right? Right? I'm also saying this to myself. I know Spirit was nugging at me because Spirit is like, girl, how are you supposed to lose some weight if you keep eating them ice cream bars? I'm like, listen, Spirit, you need to MYOB, mind your own business. Let me go about my business. You do you. And she's like, you're stifling me with this food. And I'm like, okay. Fasting it is. No. But listen. so listen, okay, this is humanics, okay, not mechanics, humanics. I'm a human being, and so I'm also learning. So Spirit is checking me up to, like, listen, we gotta, so you know what, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again. This message may resonate with someone out there. Perhaps you've been wanting to do something different. Maybe you want to put highlights in your hair. Remember, it's not always 100% superficial. Don't go out there and just get a whole purple color in your hair and, you know, I've switched it up. No. Seek deep down inside your soul as Spirit. Guide me. Some of y'all still driving the same route you go to and from work. Switch it up. Take the back roads if they're safe. But point being, you never know. You might meet your loved one over there, you know, flat tire, stop by, help, you know, I don't know. Just do things differently. Challenge yourself to do things differently. You don't have to do things differently, but if you feel that you want to do things differently, then challenge yourself to do things differently and see what kind of results you get from that, right? I mean, like I said, it does not always have to be superficial, and sometimes to me, it's always like kind of, if I'm feeling kind of like, you know, I'm like, ever since I got out the proper dapper work environment, I'm like, I'm going platinum, baby. Give it to me. Okay, now you're talking to somebody that's never had color in her hair. Never. We did it. It's in there. Bam. I was like, well, that's kind of cute. I like it. Did something different. Made me feel good. Right? Yeah, it's superficial. It's hair, whatever. But listen, that moment made me feel good. Okay. So do something different, beloved. Like I said, it doesn't always have to be superficial. And then it doesn't have to be extreme. But you just got to dig deep inside your soul, inside your spirit, and say, Spirit, guide me. I just want to switch it up a little bit. Don't be like me. For years, I've been black. Spirit is saying, I'm telling you, these messages, they resonate right here. That Spirit's just telling me, like, girl, black pants, black tops, black pants, black tops, black pants, black tops, black purses. Spirit is like, we need to add color into your life. I'm like, okay, baby steps. Hair first. The hair first. And we're working on the others. So just dig deep. Can't even talk. Dig deep down inside. Spirit says to be different, we gotta do different. Take a different path from work. Talk to someone you've never talked to before in the grocery lane. Oh my gosh, it's such a challenge for an introvert. I'll be like, don't look back, please don't look back. And they look back. Hi, how are you? And any introverts in here? Hello. Goodbye. But listen, do something different. Challenge yourself. In order to be different, we got to be different. We got to have different mindsets, right? You want to accomplish that billionaire status you've been claiming since you were 12 years old, right? Multi-millionaire status, right? That business plan or the goals, the dreams and desires that you desire. You got to do different. You got to start thinking differently. You got to start having a different routine. You got to start, accommodating the desires you want. And perhaps for some single women, it's marriage or a life partner. The yacht, maybe, if you're looking for multi-millionaires. I mean, you're not just going to always find them at the club, girls. I mean, go to where they are. But also have something to offer in return. I'm just saying, nonprofit organization, not that expensive to start if you don't, if you're not into working. I mean, just for a real charitable cause, just not to catch a multi-millionaire or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. If you know, you know. So, guys, different, right? In order to get to this different place, to do different, Spirit is reminding me on this journey to true self-trust and believe it's uncomfortable. You talking, I think it might be borderline OCD, but you talking to somebody that's like, listen, in the gym, I would go, don't laugh, So like before I got ready for work, I would go to the shower, but I had to go to the second stall always. That was my stall. And if it was taken, I'd wait. And then after that, I would have to open the curtain to the right, to the left. I'm working on it. Humanics, not mechanics. I'm a human being. I'm working on it. Spirit, that's the reason why Spirit is highlighting this. She's like, girl, put them ice cream bars down. Work on those steps. I'm like, yeah, I hear you, Spirit. Girl, So, and I felt like this message can also resonate with someone. Listen, perhaps you're scared of starting a whole new career. That stuff could be scary. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go do something different. Go on. What you waiting for? Right? Do something different. Listen, definitely insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. If you're not getting the results you want out of life, do something different. Build yourself up to where you want to go, right? Your dreams, your desires, those are all attainable and possible. Some of them just require maybe routines, regimens, certain tweaking, right? Just something small, minor. Hey, you want to go get a nose ring? Because mine fell out. I need to go get another one. Listen, I told you when I left that whole entire corporate sector, honey, I got a nose ring. I got tatted up. Tatted up. Tat. Look, I'm going back for some more. I'm like, what? Who's going to check me? Hair. We start off with the hair. So do something. Listen, I know I'm just being funny. I'm not saying tattoos and nose rings are doing something different. It's just me being rebellious of the ways that I used to be. Oh, proper, dapper, corporate, well, just black hair, jet black hair, extra short nails, and nothing fun to look at. Just kidding. But just, regular schmegular. That's okay. And there's nothing wrong with regular schmegular. I'm continually regular schmegular. But listen, so do something different. Do something different. Just do something different. Right? I remember years ago, yo-yo, if you know, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. But I remember years ago when I took the first initiation, right, to really focus on weight loss, I joined the gym. Voila, right? It doesn't always work out in a gym. You could walk around the block. But at that time, for me mentally, that was one of the things I did too when I stopped drinking, because in my mind I used to fantasize walking in a park and being better. And we went to the park later on in life. But at the time I did the gym membership thing, and then I built a routine behind it. And voila, 75 pounds lighter. And then and then we worked on the eating habits. But I started to do something different, right? Just something different, right? I know it doesn't have to be perfect, but dig deep down in your soul. Dib is dig deep down in your soul. I'm telling you, what you need, your desires and your dreams are right at fingertip grasp. For some of us, it's just that one little thing. And just for me, for years, and with the whole entire husband story and everything like that, it had been revealed in the spiritual dream realm 5 years before that. Exactly. We got married exactly in the same sanctuary, everything like that. I had seen my husband 5 years before that. That dream was crazy. I have to make a podcast about that. So I better zip it and probably tell you all about that. But then first I got to make sure I didn't already create that one. But it was revealed 5 years before I met him. So I knew that somebody was going to come in my life. And what's crazy about life is, and then I was still drowning myself in alcohol, smoking, tobacco, and just not knowing and seeing that possibility. But it was already, you see things in the spiritual realm before they ever manifest in the waking realm. But I say all of that to say, for me, the biggest hurdle, the thing that I probably maybe internally feared the most was scared. I was scared that if I kept drinking, I was going to die. And I didn't know how everything was going to fan out and everything like that. And crossing over that hurdle finally produced something really detrimental in my life. And like I said, it doesn't have to be all grand and big, right? Just baby steps. And you know what? When we're talking about baby steps, be sure to celebrate every single win. Yeah, be able to be sure you want to go back to school. Hey, start off with one class. If you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be overwhelmed or inundated with all these classes, start off with one. Start off with half a class or something. But you just kidding. Start off with one class. Writers, calling out all writers, right? You want to write that manuscript. So start penning your ideas down. It just starts with you doing something different to get something different, right? What's today's mantra? Do something different to get something different, because we're switching it up, right? Switching it up. Saucing it up, switching it up, saucing it up. Guys, I love you so much. Don't be afraid to switch it up. Don't. Take a different route home. Do something different. Don't be afraid. So I did double check, and the podcast
Love you guys so much. Stay blessed.
is dreaming about marriage, or either dreaming about a wedding or something like that. It's one of the earlier podcasts, so you could dig deep down into the pot there of the podcast. And that's the podcast that I did do a dream interpretation on how I saw my husband in the
right now.
spiritual
Not
dream
tomorrow,
realm 5 years before
not
I met
yesterday,
him, and how we
but
ended
today.
up getting married in the
Seize the
same
moment
exact
to enjoy
sanctuary,
each
and so
day
forth and so
while
forth.
en route
Love you guys
to your
that
intended
much, and stay
destiny.
blessed.
A quote by
Memory Ben Gesser.
Remember, if no one has told you this today, I love you. I appreciate you. And yes, we can do this thing